As the name indicates, in comments, we are going to make a program to swap or exchange two numbers using a temporary and without temporary variable. This is a question which is asked generally in interviews for developers or for the coders as a beginning level of their interviews. So in this you have to design the logic for the swapping of two numbers by using the temporary variable and without temporary variable. So what we will do, we will start with declaring the variables. You have to declare the variable. The declaration will be different in other programmings like Java, C++, or Python, but the logic will be the same for all programming languages. So I'm just going with the declaration of the variables n comma m, and then I just say enter the two numbers, because before that we have to go with the enter the two numbers. So I say enter the two numbers, yes, with the semicolon. You know the scanf is for that in C programming. So we say %d with the variable, and we are just entering them together, comma, and then we say ampersand, and then we say n comma ampersand m, and then we put a semicolon here. This is for entering the two numbers. That means inputting the two numbers. The input process will be different in other programmings. Just you have to focus on the logic, what is there for the exchange of. Sometimes in an interview they can ask you exchange the two numbers, and sometimes they can ask you swap the two numbers. So before doing the process with temporary or without the temporary variable, we will just try to print them first. So we will say printf, and we will say before exchange, or we can say temp exchange, n is equals to, we say %d exactly, and m is equals to %d. And the variables, because we have used 2%d, so two variables should be there. So we are saying n comma m. Now if I run this program, it will print the variable as the variables are there. Like if I am entering the value 5 and 6 for the n and m, so I'll get the value n is equals to 5, and I get the value m is equals to 6. This will be the procedure. We will try to run it again, but before that we will use a temporary variable. The first thing you have to always remember, when you are using a temporary variable, you have to just think about a logic. When you are assuming that there are two buckets, one is having a red color water and another is having a blue color water. So you want to transfer the red color water to the blue color water bucket. So what you will take? You will take an empty bucket for transferring one particular color to the empty one, and then you transfer the blue one to the red bucket. So this will be the logic. This is a very easy logic which you have to always remember. So what I do for the empty bucket, I am taking a variable. You need to declare that variable. So I just declare that variable, initialize it to 0. In C programming conventionally we use this because it should not take as a garbage value. So what we will do, we will just say temp is equals to n, and again the same red blue empty procedure. So I'm saying m is equals to n. If I say again m, no, I'm saying n is equals to m here, and then m is equals to temp, right? So this is my procedure for using empty, using your temp variable or empty bucket, which was the procedure. So what we will do, we will just say as a smart work, control C here, and what we will do here, before exchange, now we will just change this from before to after, and it should be here, it should be n is equals to 6, and here it should be n is equals to 5. If we just run this program, and if my program is right for with using temporary variable, the exactly output should be that which I am using, 5 and 6. So answer is before exchange n is 5, m is 6, after exchange n is equal to 6, m is equals to 5. I'm little bit speedy because I don't want to waste the time on the the lengthy videos and all, because main logic is to just clear this concept. Okay, so this is your using temporary variable. Now I just want, okay, if you want it should be more formatting should be good, so you can use a slash in here to display the values very clean. So now the second thing is, I want it should be without temporary variable. Sometimes an interviewer can ask you the question that I don't want a temporary variable because it will, as a developer, it will take memory, so I don't want to waste the time on memory management here. So I just want without temporary variable. So how it will be, so what we will do, we will just delete this part here, and we are not using this red blue empty concept, so we will just delete it, and we will just try to make without temporary variable. So what we will do, we will just say n is equals to n plus m. So what we are doing here, basically we are combining the two things together, and then we are passing that value. That means now the value, if first is 5, second is 6, the value will be 11. Now n is equals to 11. So what I do here, if I say m is equals to n minus m, so what the value exactly it is giving me. So if I say n is what, 11, and m is what, for my reason it is 6. Now if I say m is 11 minus 6, if I say 11 minus 6 means it is giving me 5. So this time m I get 5, right? So this time again n is equals to, and this time what we are doing, n minus, n will be the same again, and this time I am again I want to 11 minus, so what I say, m. So if I just do it like this, and if I just try to run the code again, it should display the value which I want. So what I am doing, I am just using two variables. Okay, what expression missing is there, because I have not used a semicolon here. So these are the mistakes which you have to do in your program. Otherwise you have to learn each and everything with your mistakes, with the different things. So the same thing, somewhere semicolon is missing, so yes, I am not. So n is equals to n plus m, m is equals to n minus. So if we just put a comment here, so n is 11 again minus m, m is now 6 minus, that is 5, so I'll get n as a 6. So if I just see, the value for m is now 5 and n value is 6, so that I want from the program. So if I just try to run the code and I just say whether my program is right now, if I say 5 is the first value, 6 is the second value. So before exchange they were 5 and 6, after exchange they were n is 6 and m is 5. That means our solution, what I want from this problem, we have done that with temporary variable and without temporary variable. In this way, you have to make your logics as a beginner, because as a beginner it's very important to clear your concepts and the logics. Okay, so that's it for today, for this chapter. Hope you like this chapter. So if you really like my content, please put a thumbs up, share this video with your friends, subscribe the channel, and I will meet you in the next program which will be asked in your interviews. Thank you so much.